Deep within the North Pole workshop, where fragrant cinnamon and peppermint scents often mingle, Santa and his elves once experimented with a brand new treat. A running gingerbread man modeled after Santa himself, mid-flight on rooftops. Picture a cheerful pastry, complete with a little gingerbread beard, a miniature sack, and icing boots that seemed to dash forward, just like Santa on Christmas Eve. At first, the elves were thrilled by the idea. They carefully measured spices and dough, rolling out sheets of gingerbread large enough to create a life-size figure. And sure enough, once the baking was done, the result looked astonishing, like a statue of Santa in cookie form, frozen in that iconic sprint across chimney tops. But soon, a few problems rose, just like the dough. It broke too easily. Though the elves had used the strongest sugar glazes they could, any jostle caused the gingerbread's limbs to snap. Mortimer the mouse discovered the delicious treat. With his tiny paint-stained whiskers, he'd sneak over and nibble discreetly at the cookie edges whenever no one was looking. Even the reindeer couldn't resist a midnight snack. Rudolph and friends would wander by, pick up that sweet aroma, and chomp on a cookie foot or an icing mitten. Before long, the once proud gingerbread man looked more like a half-finished art project, missing a chunk of arm here, part of a beard there. Santa soon realized that despite its charm, the gingerbread Santa was in danger of vanishing piece by piece, and not in the delicious way a typical gingerbread cookie might. Gathering the elves in the main kitchen one evening, Santa held up what remained of the treat. "My dear friends," he said with a regretful smile, "our running gingerbread man may taste delightful, but it just can't survive a bustling workshop. And honestly, I don't think we can patch it up any more than we have. Let's not keep baking these, or it'll keep disappearing in nibbles." A wave of understanding sighs spread among the elves, some a little disappointed, some hungry from the spicy sweet aroma. Mortimer peered out sheepishly from behind a mixing bowl, crumbs still on his whiskers, squeaking a tiny apology. The reindeer, peeking in the kitchen window, gave wide-eyed, guilty looks, too. But Santa, ever kind, placed a comforting hand on Mortimer's head. It was a wonderful idea. Sometimes the best inventions don't last forever. Maybe one day we'll find a way to make a stronger, more nibble-proof gingerbread figure. Until then, we'll stick with smaller cookies that don't tempt our four-legged friends quite as much. That night, the elves broke the massive gingerbread Santa into shareable pieces. Forming a spontaneous holiday feast, they brewed hot cocoa and had a lively cookie party. Complete with laughter and carols, the reindeer got their fill of sweet treats. And Mortimer, much to his delight, nibbled to his heart's content without fear of scolding. And thus, the running gingerbread man was discontinued, but not forgotten. In fact, the memory lived on as one of those whimsical North Pole moments where creativity, fun, and a little chaos all blended to make a cherished holiday story. Now and then, the elves consider bringing the recipe back, but they always recall that night of broken gingerbread limbs and sneaky mouse nibbles, and decide to keep it stored away, at least for the time being.